Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And today it's actually, well, it might be raining out there now, but it was actually snowing here. We don't get a lot of snow on the West Coast, but this morning we actually had a little bit of white stuff on the ground. And now I think it's raining. So it's kind of a good day to be in my craft room. And so I thought I'd jump on and show you how to make a box fold card. Um, I've done these before. I got a really pretty one in the mail from Lisa Althouse. I think it was Lisa. No, Jen Tinlin. Sorry. Um, and I thought, I can make one of those. So Jen used this Snow Buddy Better, but I'm going to use the Nature's Harvest bundle, which is one of the bundles I absolutely love. And I think it's retiring in the current catalog. So it will be gone as of the 4th of January. So if you haven't got this one, you're gonna want to get it on your wish list. All right, let me pop over to my desktop and show you how we're gonna make this card. All right, so like I said, I'm using the Nature's Harvest suite. So this is the stamp set. So it looks really kind of old-fashioned, antique-y with the font that it has on it, but it has the thank you and good luck. And then these great coneflowers, I call them, or echinacea, I think they are. And then the dies that go with them have the dies that cut them out, a couple of labels, and then these great extra dies that cut out pieces like this coneflower, and some, I don't know, wheat maybe. Anyway, it's really pretty. I've used it a lot, and I'm going to use it today. Hey, Diana, welcome. Hey, Cheryl. Oh my gosh, from Australia. Well, welcome. All right, so what you're going to need for this is a piece of cardstock. I'm using mint macaron. And this piece, and sorry, Cheryl, I'm doing this in Imperial. I didn't make it up in advance in metric. So this is cut 4 1/4 by 10 1/2. So you just want to cut. So this is basically half a sheet of cardstock, cut lengthways, and then you're going to cut 1/2 inch off of it. And then you're going to score it at 1/2 inch, 1 3/4. So this is going to form the box, and 3 3/4. I've got it written down and I can't read my writing. That's terrible. All right, 3 3/4. And I think I've scored this wrong. Oops, and I dropped my phone. All right, we're going to have to look at this again. Yeah, Diana, I don't know why you don't have this set. All right, 1/2 inch. Yes, I did score it wrong. All right, we're going to do this again. So it's, let me get my measurements. It's at 1/2 inch. I'm going to measure this as I'm going. 1/2 inch, 1 3/4, 3 3/4. Oh, I just missed one. And then 5. So I didn't do anything wrong. There we go. I just missed one score. All right, so 1/2 inch, 1 3/4, 3 3/4, and 5. Those are your scores to form the box. Yeah, Diana, this is you definitely need to get this one. It's so pretty. I absolutely love this one. All right, so then you're going to just take and fold, use your bone folder to give this a good burnish. A fold on these. Now, so that's basically folded in half. And then you're going to start just folding upwards. It's all kind of going to accordion. I don't know if accordion's the right word. It's going to fold in on itself. So I'm just folding these at the moment all inwards, and then we'll worry about getting the box put together. All right, so now I've got everything folded. So then these are all going to fold to form this box on the front of your card. If you can see that, you're going to just form, this is the long piece of your card that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then This is all folded to form this box. Now, the great thing about this card is when it goes in the mail, this will all just fold flat, and it will go into an envelope perfectly flat. So I love these fancy folds that you don't have to worry about extra postage because you need extra. All right, so I'm going to use tear and tape, and I'm just going to put a piece of tear and tape across this. This is that 1/2 inch fold. But before I do that, so I've got my tear and tape on. You need some designer series paper because of course you want to put something on the back. So this is a piece of designer series paper that is cut 4 inches by 4 inches. And I'm using, this is the, I'm not sure if it's called Nature's Harvest, but it's the designer series paper that goes with this suite and this one with the, in the mint macaron. It has writing on it. So you do want to make sure that you've got the writing going the right way. Not that you can actually read much of it, but I'm pretty sure you would notice if it wasn't going the right way. All right, so that piece is just going to go on first, and then I can take this piece and I'm just going to lift off the backing on my tear and tape. Now, I'm just going to take, so this all folded in. So I'm just going to take and get my piece in the right spot. So if you fold it on, this is the 5 inch. So this is that 3 3/4 inch fold lines. If you fold it on that 3 3/4 inch fold line and then fold it flat, you can push it, press it down at that point, because it will then fold. So now I've got my perfectly folded box for the rest of the card. Okay, now I've got another piece of designer series paper. This one is cut 1 3/4 by 4. And this piece is going to go on the front. Now you could change it up if you wanted to. Again, make sure I got the writing going the right way. You could use different designer series paper if you wanted, but I'm going to use the same. All right. Now I've got another piece of cardstock that is cut 3 1/2 by 3 3/4, and we're going to put this on the front like this. Okay, and then I cut a piece of cork. Now this cork paper is, it's one of my favorites from the catalog. And I've cut this piece of cork 3 1/4 by 3 1/2, and it's going to go on this piece of cardstock. This is great. You can actually use this cork to use die cut from. I have stamped on it and colored it. It is amazing. All right, so we're going to just adhere that. And then this piece, I'm going to put a little glue dot, and I didn't get close enough to my edge with my, oops, thought I was going to, okay, there we go. Put that there, just didn't get close enough to the edge with my liquid glue. All right, so this, and you can either put this, it's a little bit longer, taller than it is, sorry, it's a little wider than it is tall. So just depends on what. I think I'm going to make it so it's tall because my stamped image is going to be tall. Now I'm going to use tear and tape on this just because this piece is going to move around a little bit. And so I'm just going to put tear and tape. I don't want to go too high. So maybe just, 2 pieces of tear and tape that are about 1/4 inch or so apart. And then we'll just pull the backing off of this. And always have my take your pick tool for this because I struggle to get the backing off. All right, so I'm just going to fold this up like that and just put this Now this is how it's going to go in the mail. So I want to make sure that this doesn't go higher than the top of my cards. So I'm just going to use this as a guide and get it about halfway. Or, yeah. All right, so it's basically even there, and so it will sit like this when you have it with this piece in the front. So this will be your card front. Now, I've cut an extra piece of Very Vanilla. Now, I think this is actually white, but I like the look of Very Vanilla with the cork. So I'm using Very Vanilla, and this piece is cut 4 inches by 5 1/4, and it's going to go on the back, so you have somewhere to write your message. And then I've got an extra piece of Very Vanilla that I'm going to stamp this cone flower on. Yeah. Noisy pulling those out. And I'm going to pull out at the same time this thank you stamp. There we go. So I'm going to stamp my flower using Tuxedo Black Memento because I'm going to color it using some blends, Stampin' Blends. So I'll just, there we go. And then I'm going to stamp the thank you at the same time. There. I hope I got that. I think that's good. I might have to, oh yeah, that's fine. I'm going to cut that out with one of the dies. So I thought I'd maybe stamped it too close to the top. All right, so then I pulled some of the blends. So I've pulled the mint macaron. I've pulled the mango melody and then some crumb cake. So I'm going to just start coloring my cone flowers using crumb cake. I'm not sure if it's actually, there are such flowers that are kind of this brown color. I'm sure there are, but anyway, I thought it would go nicely with the card. And then I'm going to do some mango melody just as highlights. So I'm just kind of, with this, I'm mostly just coloring as opposed to blending. I love to color with blends, but these are pretty small images to try to do too much blending. So we're just going to color. And then I'm going to bring in, this is the light, actually I think I'm going to use the dark mango melody. I'm going to do the big bulb in this little bottom and that. And then I'm just going to bring some yellow into my flower. So just kind of adding some yellow. It's a little bit of blending, and then I'll go back in and just kind of blend over it with the crumb cake. There we go. And then I'm using the mint macaron for the stems and the leaves. Again, pretty much just coloring as opposed to doing too much blending. All right, getting there. All right, there we go. Now I'm just gonna take the dark, hey Marilyn, welcome. Like I'm just kind of drawing on these lines that are already in the stamp or in the leaves, just to give it some dimension. All right, so that's enough of that. I've got my die, and line that up. Now I'm going to use a piece of my Post-it note tape, or you can use a Post-it note. I just want to hold this in place so it doesn't shift as I run it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And then I've got where's the rest of my tape here? I've got the sentiment again. I'm just going to put a little bit of that on, hold it in place. Oh, see, it shifted. That's why I do this. So let's try and get it in place, maybe over top of the flower. There we go. And I'm just going to take this off and run it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, if I can find. There we go. There's the other plate. Right. Keep my machine off to the side, because if I bring it onto camera, it just shakes the table and shakes the camera. It's kind of like I got an earthquake going on. So my Post-it note tape off gently. There we go. Okay, my oops, one die. There we go. And the flowers. Take the middles out of here. That didn't cut all the way through. So let's try this again. I haven't had that happen in a while. All right. Oh, I know why. Note to self. So when you get, there's a lesson. When you've used your stamp or your die a lot, you might get pieces of cardstock stuck in them. And I think that that's what happened, is I had a piece of cardstock stuck in there. So make sure you clean that out. Maybe not every time, but certainly on a somewhat regular basis, because it will affect the cutting of your dies. There we go. That's much better. There. Now I've got all the pieces cut out. We'll bring this back in. Now I want to use some of this. This is this really pretty diamond weave ribbon. So I think what I'm going to do is wrap it around. Now this doesn't, it's very thick, and I found that it just doesn't tie a bow very well. At least I can't make it tie a bow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some glue dots. So I'm going to put glue dots, because I probably should have put this on before I adhered my box together, but I didn't. So we can still do this. We'll use glue dots. So there, I've got a glue dot on each end of the ribbon, and I'm just going to wrap it around the bottom like that. Okay, now I'm going to use some dimensionals to put my flower on. And I think I can, I was debating about whether I need the minis. I might need a couple of the minis so they don't show through. There it is. Take your pick tool. Okay, I think I've got enough. There we go. Dimensionals, and then I will use a couple of dimensionals on my label. Wouldn't you love to get a thank you card like this in the mail? I sure would. Right. And put it like that. There we go. Okay, now I thought that these are the garden gems. So these are the gems that go with Eden's garden. And I just kind of thought that these ones would just go nicely on here. So we're just going to take and use, just seem to have the right color. Now remember, if you haven't got Eden's garden, these gems and the designer series paper and the cotton paper are only available while supplies last, but the Eden's Garden suite bundle will be available in it's a pre-release from the mini catalog that's coming out in January. So if you don't have these gems and then the designer series paper and the cotton paper, you want to get those before they're gone. Now I'm just going to take and put under here. Should I cut this? Just feeling like my stems are popping up a little bit. So look, just going to put I've just taken a mini dimensional, if I can do it, and cut it in half. And then we're just going to put that. There we go. So that will stay. And where did my other one go? Put this under here. Should have put this on before I adhered it down. There we go. So that just makes it so that that bottom of the stem's not popping up. Feels better to me. All right, there we go. Wouldn't you love to get a card like this in the mail? I sure would. That's the box. Might have to put another couple of glue dots under there to hold that ribbon in place, but we'll work on that. All right. There, I hope you enjoyed that. This is a really pretty, or a really fun card to make. And I love the fact that it folds flat for mailing. What would be better? Because you don't want to be spending extra money on postage. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you don't have this bundle, don't forget you want to order it before it's gone. It definitely is one of my favorites from the current mini catalog. I will be back tomorrow at 12 noon Pacific with another project for you. My schedule for the next week or two is going to be a little bit interrupted because I'm dealing with a family issue and doing some traveling back and forth to Vancouver. But I will be live tomorrow. But my sketch challenge, I won't be live on Tuesday night. I will post the sketch so you can play along. And then on Thursday night, I will come on with a mystery challenge into my Facebook group. So if you're not part of my Facebook group, search Create with Stamping with Melva and request to join, because I'd love to have you there. All right, everybody, thanks so much for joining me. Happy stamping. I hope you have a great day. I hope it's the weather's good where you are, and I hope you find some time to be in your craft room. All right, everybody, thanks. Happy stamping. Bye.